Hello, hello, hello. Wherever you are located on this thoughtful planet called Earth, I hope you are having an indescribable day, evening, or night wherever you are located. Wherever you're located. Today on my channel, and you see my channel brightest day from the application that I'm using on my Blender 2.8x channel. I'm going to be talking about making rocks. Making rocks. Now, I'm sure on many there has been some YouTube channels about making rocks and making asteroids, but to me they never was like quick and fast. I'm gonna show you today how to make rocks quick and fast. But of course, I can't make a rock like this. You know, everything in a 3D application always has to be subdivided. So I'm gonna subdivide this once, twice. That's good for me. Now, to make it look more like a rock, I want to put it on proportional editing to make sure I can adjust my vertices. I'm just going to be tugging on my vertices. So when you make your rocks, it don't matter which way you tug your vertices, in or out, up or down. Grab Z. It don't matter. Just make it so it just don't have that cube shape anymore. So I'm just going to distort it a little bit. Make a distortion. I really don't need this camera. Let me give it to the camera. I don't need the camera, so I'm going to delete the camera. And I'm going to delete the light, because I'm not going to render anything. So I'm just going to make some little bit more distortions to my figure. Flip it over. More distortions. Like you see, I'm just grabbing any vertices. Any one of them. Grab. I'm just going in, and I'm also going on the Z-axis, so I'm grabbing them on Y, X, and Z. Okay, let me see if there's a good distortion. I want to grab a couple more right here on the edges. Proportional editing, and it is good to have proportional editing on while you're doing this, so your rocks, I guess, can look sort of okay. All right, so that take care of it. It's distorted. And that only took about 30 seconds. And I don't want the face to look too flat, so I tug it in some. I don't have my flex because oh no. Okay, good. It looked distorted. Alright, so here we go. What you really need to go to modifiers. Go to displace. That's the main thing, the displace modifier. But of course, nothing has happened. Because the displace modifier, if you don't know, it depends on textures. So I'm going to give it a texture. There's my texture. Okay. I want to hit new. Take it off an image. I put it on blend. Let me see. Why is it not working the way I want? Oh, I got I switch it back to object mode. So let me put it on blend. See? And there. See? It's changing it. Then I go up here to object, copy object. I just hit Control V, copied it, move it on to X. And I'm sure, let me see if this has the modifier on it too. Oh, that's even wonderful. I didn't try that. So even when I copy it with that Control, what was that? Copy with what? I went to my copy object, Control C. It still has that modifier. Now, for this first rock, I'm happy with it. So I can just hit apply. Let me go back to my second rock. Let me go back to textures. It's on blend now. I'll choose clouds. See there, another rock. I'm just going to hit Control C, Control V. I got my copy. I grab it on the Y. Come back to my first one. Go back to my modifier. I'm happy with it. I hit it. The beautiful thing is still got that Displace Modifier on it. I chose clouds. Now I'm going to go through each one of these. Distorted noise. Okay. Sometimes rocks do have sharp edges on it. I'm happy with that. I hit Control C, Control V, move it on my X-axis. There it is. Come back to this, the previous one. Go to the modifier. I choose apply because I'm happy with it. I come to this one. Go back down to texture. I have it on distorted noise. I'm going to choose magic. See, a different look. It always gives a different look. I'm happy with that rock. I hit Control C again. Oops, let me go back to this one. I'm happy with that. Control C, Control V. Then I just keep moving it on the X. Come back to my previous one. Hit the modifier. I'm happy with it. I hit apply. Go back to my new one. Go back to texture. It's on magic. I just choose another one. I'll choose marble. See, it's looking different. And remember, since I had it in I didn't really subdivide it that much. You know, it's not going. That's why I got them jagged edges. But hey, if you're on flight, if you know rocks are, and most of the time rocks are small. So in your scene, nobody not going to see that little jagged edge. So I have it on marble. I hit Control C, Control V. Now let's move this one on my Y. G, Y. And let's see look at those different rocks. This was my first one. So now I got it on marble. I'm gonna check something out real quick. I'm gonna put apply for that. Come back to this new one. It's on marble. Go back to texture. Take it off of marble. I can put it on Musgrave. Okay, see, a different look. A bunch of different. I only made one, and in seconds, I'm getting a bunch of different configurations. I'll hit Control C again, Control V, move it on my X, Control G, X, move it on my X. Go back to my last one, choose the modifier, hit apply. I'm gonna come back to this one, go back to texture. It's on Musgrave. Now I'm just gonna choose noise. Let's see how. I want to see how. See, noise. So the sharp looking. Hey, I keep it. I hit Control C, Control V, grab it on Y. Go up there. Go back to my previous one. Go back to the modifier. Hit apply. I'm gonna go to my new one. Go back to modifier. I have it on noise. Don't choose Stucci. Okay, that's it. I like my Stucci. So I hit Control C, Control V. I just grab it, put it anywhere I want to. Go back to my previous one. We know the routine. I'm just going to hit apply. Go back to my new one. Go back down to, I have it on Stucci. Orono. That, see it, another look. Control C, Control V. Move it on to X. We're moving somewhere so we can see it. Moving on X. Go back to my previous one. Go back to the modifier. Hit apply. Go back to my new one. Touch this. I'll move it to my last one is called wood. And there we go. Now I'm going to apply this. Apply. And you know, they all the same size. But if for rocks, you know, you can scale it. You know, you can scale your rocks. Scale them large, scale them small, scale them large. Oh, that's gigantic. Right. Any size you want, you just scale them. I'm just gonna do a couple more, make it a little bit larger. Grab it, put it on X. I just make a couple more tiny. Scale, make it small, make it microscopic almost. Make this a little bit larger. And there, we have them. Now, I hit Control C and Control V because I discovered Control C truly make all of them unique. Now I'm gonna get my color. I'm gonna get out of color. Choose my. already have a material, so let me make the surface smaller. I always hated that. Settings. Nope, I have to go down to viewport display. Give it a color. I give it a brownish color. Make it a little bit darker. There we go. I'm just gonna do a couple more, then I'm gonna end the video. I got that. Get that a little a light brownish color. I can make that a lot more darker. See? There we go. I'm gonna go here. Make that a little bit brown. Why that's yeah, I'll make it like that. And I'm just gonna see, and that's it, my good people. How to make your quick, low poly rocks. You saw me scale them, etc. Now, the more subdivisions you give it, you know, of course, since you're in 3D, the more subdivisions you give it, the more better and more realistic and probably smooth it looks. But this will work for me if I'm just throwing a bunch of rocks in my scene, and because you know they're tiny. Let me make them all very small. See, most rocks are very tiny looking anyway. See, when they're tiny, you can't tell anything about them. And then of course you can rotate them too. You can rotate them. Rotate my rocks. That's another way of how I do for my rocks. Before I discover using the Displace Modifier, I used to just make one rock and just rotate it. But you see right here. And here I'm gonna show you the rocks that I really like. Let me highlight the rocks that I truly like. That really look convincing to me. I'm gonna give them a color. This one looks convincing. I'm just gonna make it green. I like this one. I'll make it green again too. Green. Oops, why it's not turning green? I like this one a little bit. I like this one. Green. I like this. Green. Those are the ones that I truly like. And the ones with the sharp edges, well, they alright. I know, because some rocks, they do have sharp edges, especially those rocks that's located within inside of caves. But the ones that's green looking, I like those the best. So you have to play with it. So there you go, my good people. How to make your quick, dirty, low poly rocks. But they don't have to be low poly, because the more subdivisions you give it, the more accurate it will be. If you like this little video on how to make rocks in Blender, give me a thumbs up. If you have any comments, leave a comment. If you'd like to subscribe, I welcome subscription. And also, before I go, remember, I use that Displace Modifier. And then, okay, before I go, let me try something. Okay, but I can't use the Displace Modifier anymore because I gave them a permanent setting. But let me try. I'm gonna put a Displace Modifier on this anyway. Displace. You can change the. Let me see. Let me change this. Yeah, you could change that mid-level. I could have did that too to give the rocks even more character. You could change the mid-level. So you can change that strength. Let me go to some of my. See, now that looks sharp. I'll change that. Now it looks more rocky. Let me go to some of my with them sharp edges. Let me hit the period. There's a sharp edge. Let me give it a modifier. See, a modifier, Displace Modifier. Let me see if I hit the mid-level and the strength. Well, that sort of smoothed it out some. Okay, that looks a little bit better. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. Yeah, that looks even better. The strength. Let me do that strength again. Yeah, that looks even better. It got rid of a lot of them sharp edges. It makes it look more wild and chaotic. So that's even better. Wow. But I guess at first you still gotta hit that initial apply. Then you gotta come back later. Then use the Displace Modifier again. I'm gonna go to one more rock. The one with the sharp edges on it. Let me see, that got sharp edges. Oh, I didn't apply this. So let me see, I can do this. See, the mid-level makes it more and more. Okay, that's starting to look better. Let me check my strength. Yeah, the strength, see, you can adjust it with that strength and give it any look you want. So now you have the weapons of putting low poly rocks in any scene. Like I said, if you want to subscribe. If you like, give me the like button. If you want to join for future content in Blender, please subscribe. Until the next time, Blender family, peace.